Okay, let's go ahead and get started here with Chapter 4, Section 5, rates or ratios and rates. All right, so let's talk about rates first. All right, so what is a rate? Rate, if you think about it, kind of sounds like, well, ratio has kind of rate in it, R-A-T at least. All right, and so a rate is a type ratio, right? Special type. So a rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. All right, you're probably very familiar with um, like you could be traveling on your bike at 15 miles per hour, right? So right here, those are the two different units. So miles and then hours. You can also write it like this, right? In 1 hour, something like that. Or you can have what else could we have? You can buy 8 apples. Can't spell apples, but 8 apples cost, I don't know, um, 84 cents, something like that. So in this example right here, we've got apples, that's a unit, and then we have, I should circle the money. We have money as a different unit. So those are different types of rates. So as long as you have two different types of rates, like there's 2 pints in a quart, something like that. All right. So now let's keep going here. So a unit rate is the next thing we're going to talk about. So a unit rate. A unit rate is a rate for 1 unit of a given quantity. Unit rates are probably the rates you're probably most used to dealing with. I actually gave an example of a unit rate up here. Okay, so unit rates must have a denominator, the bottom number. That is the number 1. So example, your heart beats 150 times in 2 minutes. Find your heart rate per minute. So yeah, let's just set that up. So 150 times in 2 minutes. So you can just do this like that. And um, so you're looking for minutes per heartbeat. If we do this, we do 1, and then you get 75. All right, and if we set it up the other way, so we put 150 on top, and then we do 2 minutes, 2 minutes, we get 75 for 1, something like that. So you can probably tell, there's 2 ways you can always write a unit rate. You could probably tell that one of those unit rates, though, makes more sense. So, but it's probably the second one. Your heart beats 75 times per minute. The second one is probably the less wonky one, but they're both correct in terms of, well, actually, the second one's correct as a unit rate because the 1 is in the denominator. But if you want to describe how your heart is beating, either one is probably acceptable, but like the second one's the most appropriate. Whatever unit rate you're looking at, you must put that rate in the what? Um, Whatever unit rate you're looking for, you must put that rate in the simplest form. So simplify it to lowest terms as much as possible. Circle the unit rate that makes the most sense in the real world. All right, so running speed. You run 6 mile, it takes 6 hours for you to run 1 mile or 6 miles per hour. This probably makes more sense right here. Reading rate, 65 words per minute or 65 minutes for 1 word. Probably this right here. All right, gas prices, well, we all are familiar with that. $2.45 per gallon or 35 hundredths of a gallon for $1. I've never seen a gas station that advertises how much gas you can get for $1. Although it wouldn't, I guess you could do it that way, but you just don't see that. All right. So like right here, let's get into some application problems. So a car used 8 gallons of gas to travel 132 miles. Now find the unit rate for miles per gallon. Now it says right here miles per gallon. So that's how we want to set it up. We want to set it up so that miles is the numerator and gallons is the denominator. So when we do this, we're going to do 132 divided by divided by 8. All right, and what's 132 divided by 8? What's that going to be? That's going to be, use my calculator here. Yeah, I thought that came out to a decimal. But yeah, 16.5. So that comes out to 16.5 miles per 1 gallon. All right, so there you go. You want to set it up like that. All right, you read 88 pages of the dictionary. That sounds exciting. In 4 hours. How many pages do you read per hour? So again, we want to do pages as the numerator, and we want to do the time equivalent on the bottom. Okay, so pages per hour. So 88 is on top, 4 is on the bottom. So 88 divided by 4, that comes out to 22. So that comes out to 22 pages every 1 hour. All right, for example 3, a juice is sold in 2 different sizes. A 48 fluid ounce bottle costs $2.07. 32-ounce bottle is $1.64. Which bottle is the better buy? And we're going to do that by comparing their unit rates and use a calculator. So yeah, this is, you might be at a store, and I know like sometimes we only have so much money. If you only have $1.64, you're obviously going to buy the cheaper option. But if you're thinking about economics, you're thinking about value, unit rate's the way to go, right? You're thinking you have to do it that way. So when we set this up, we're going to we want to probably figure out money, how much it's going to cost, right? Per fluid ounce. And that's probably going to make the most sense. All right, so the first size, the 48 fluid ounce, we're going to do 207 divided by 48. All right, and for the other one, we're going to do, that's $1.64, so 1.64 divided by 32. And we're just going to divide those. That's it. So we're going to do 207 divided by 48. And on my calculator, I got this. I'm going to write down the exact number I got. So I got 0.043125. Okay. So if we're dealing with dollar amounts, obviously we just need this part of the price. So we don't need a thousandths place. We do need the thousandths place though to round. So we look at that number right there. We look at that digit because that digit tells us whether to round up or to keep it the same. And so this comes out to about 4 cents per ounce, per fluid ounce. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing with $1.64. So $1.64 divided by 32, I get this. So we get 0.05125. Okay. So if we round that digit right there, we only need the hundredths place. We don't need thousands or 10,000s. So if we round it to that place, that 1 tells us to keep that 5 the same way. So we get 5 cents per fluid ounce. So it's pretty obvious now which one's a better buy. Now it's not going to break the bank type of better buy, but it is a better buy. Right here, you're getting more for your money. You're getting more. It's 4 cents for every fluid ounce, whereas the other one's a penny, basically a penny more, per fluid ounce. So the more expensive option, it's kind of usually how it is, and when you go to a store, usually when you buy something in larger amounts, bulk amounts, perhaps, it's going to be the cheaper option if you're ever comparing unit rates, and that's sometimes going to be the case. That's why a lot of stores they love small quantities of things. Minis, because people like to buy small amounts. It's portable, it's compact. But really, when you think about it, it's more expensive. It's better just to buy larger amounts and just put them in baggies, maybe. That's the way to do it.